It doesn't matter if you're a great real estate agent. It's all about connecting with others. People don't care that you can get them $1 million over asking. They want someone that they know that they can trust, obviously do the job, and feel like they have this best rapport with. Super important to have those things. Hello, good morning.
Yes.
How is everybody doing today? All
Nah, what's
right.
up?
Liking that
Great
track?
music.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, I'm that same vibe, so don't worry. How's everyone doing this morning?
Hey, good.
That's good. That's good. Well, thanks for everyone joining in. I'm just going to get some of my calls ready. But welcome to my class here. So I do things for anyone that's has been to my class. You guys know what it is. Anyone that's newer, I've basically been doing this 8 years full time. Living the dream in paradise for that long. I've learned from, being on a team, being solo, joining a really good team. And then kind of COVID went by myself. I was like, you know what, if I'm going to give my money away, I might as well get rich or die trying. So took 50 Cent over there, went solo, and been killing it, have my own team and all that. So I have a lot of experience, and regardless where you are in the field, I definitely can help you out with that. I also started lead genning really heavy. I didn't rely on just spheres of influence and not really working them. I've done door knocking, I've done cold calling. I built my business through online leads. So that's why I'm really good at, helping you kind of pivot through buyers and sellers through the objections and the whole shabam over there. But that's a little bit about me. What are you guys finding about Meskula right now? Any, wins that you're doing? Any kind of objections that you're kind of getting into? Have you been contacting people? I'd love to have an open group discussion just before I get into some of my calls, because I have value for everyone that's here. Feel free to jump in. So I'm not going to bite. I know I'm a shark, but don't worry, it's not blood season yet. But no, seriously, if you guys need anything, just please jump in. I'd love to know a little bit more about everyone here just before I get into my calls. Has anyone got a listing appointment from these leads? I know that I think some of you are more newer. How are you finding the system? Have you been chatting with any leads? I'd love to hear what you guys are saying.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, how's it going? It's Nav here. We spoke before I joined, actually, if you remember. I was the one that was kind of like, hey, I was with Agent Locator for a couple of years.
Yep. I know who you are. Nice to see you here.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I don't know what it is, but something's in the air. But I'm 4 for 4 so far, or 3 for 3, I think. Every kind of chat that I've had, I've set an appointment, and I have 2 today and 1 tomorrow. So I'm finding that like you were with Agent Locator, I'm finding these are kind of more hand raisers. Yeah. So I'm finding a lot more success just probing and asking questions and setting appointments, as opposed to someone that, we were with them. There's something they have to give to get access to. So I'm finding that a little bit easier.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad. So it's not like you're scripted. You know what it is. You're building your business through online leads just like I did. So, obviously at the beginning, it's a little hard to start getting those right conversations because it's trial and error. But as long as you follow a script, which obviously you are doing, and, all that stuff, it's easier to get through these leads. And that's what I'm saying. I always tell people, try some online leads first, because the reason why I built my business through online leads and why I love Meskula in general is because online leads, everyone's online. Everyone has a phone. Everyone is always on this phone. They're doing something in it. Okay. So other than door knocking, cold calling, open houses, you're limited, right? You're limited a little bit to people who want to chat with you and people, who are open to having a conversation about real estate. So with having ads targeted to people, you're having more people that actually want and have, a general inquiry about what's going on. So who's going to give you a prospect? Who's going to give you more time? Someone that is curious about something, or someone that you're just soliciting and they don't even care about real estate because they're not moving for 10 years, right? So, and then I also found that I could get through a lot more people in a faster manner than doing other things, right? So that's why I love online leads. And plus, it's one of the hardest leads to master, or lead gens to master. But if you can master this, you can master anything. So, if anyone's not getting it yet, don't worry. You're doing the right steps. You're on this call. We're going to make sure that you're good, and you can hear some of my calls on how I'm doing my leads. And I can show you different scenarios about what kind of objections I'm getting and all that stuff. Also, too, if you have calls that, you want to know a little bit more of like, hey, Nick, like I had this call, it's recorded. Do you mind giving it a listen? What kind of angle would you have done differently, or what would have been the better script? So remember, we're all here. We're all here to help each other get more listings, get more buyers, and get more business and keep changing our lives, right? That's why we choose to work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to build something that we don't have to do later on, right? Yeah. So, Nav, great job, man. Glad to hear that. Anyone else? Just before I get into some stuff? Hey, Jennifer. You can just unmute.
Hey, good morning.
What's
So I just
good?
went live yesterday. And so something's going on. My bot
Cool.
is not working. So
Congrats. How's it feel?
it's good. It's exciting. So I just picked up the phone this
Nice.
morning. I'm still trying to figure out how to use the system. My bot is not working. So I was like, oh, I gotta call this one. So I just grabbed the one that said that they were ready in 3 to 6 months. And so I definitely had no idea what I was doing, but we had like a 10-minute conversation. It went great. And then I definitely missed something. I was like, okay. And the call's done. I was like, I have no idea what just happened. So I would love for someone to
Yeah,
listen and tell
for
me
sure.
like what I missed. Like we definitely connected. He lives close to a family member of mine. I know the area. We chatted and then it was like, "Mer."
I can understand that.
I think I definitely maybe didn't position myself as an expert, but he was like, oh, I want something from you. Or maybe he just wanted to talk to a realtor. I have no idea, but it was a great call. So I don't know.
So I totally understand. First off, congrats on getting a good conversation, because it's not about the
Thanks.
outcomes. Just to let everyone know how I measure, my kind of calls and my kind of day is I actually worry about the conversations. I don't worry about the outcome, because if you're having the behaviors which you're calling and having good conversations with, the outcomes will come through, right? So don't worry about the stuff that you're not getting or how far you didn't get, and just keep having good conversations, right? The way that we're going to have good conversations is by scripting. So, if you're a selling agent currently now and a heavy listing agent, you kind of know where the conversation goes. If you're more of a buyer's agent going into listing leads, they're a little bit different, because, as a buyer, you're worrying about one house, right? As a seller, there's a lot more conversation, right? There's conversation on, okay, what type of house is yours? You're doing a tour of the house. You're now showing them market stats. You're now going over comps. You're now trying to find out market value and if it's in line with what the seller's thinking. And then after that, you're asking for commission, right, on both sides. And then after that, you got to showcase your value proposition and crowd close and get them closed. So rather than just going to show a house, call the listing agent, asking the questions, and then putting an offer, it's like 10 more steps, which is fine. But in this business, you want to list to last. You want signs on the driveway. You want your sign and brand to be out. As a buyer's agent, it's great to be a buyer's agent, because obviously you're not spending money and all that kind of stuff on a listing, and you're not dealing with listing calls, but no one knows that you're purchasing. That's the hard part, right? So you want to make sure that you're always listing, and that's why Meskula has always been a great opportunity for any agents who are getting into this. I'm going to show you what to do. So basically, Jennifer, great job on doing the call. If you don't mind me asking, and I'm not putting you on the spot, but how did that call go? So you obviously had an introduction. From there, you've obviously talked about, hey, I know the area. And then after that, what happened?
I said, hi, Mr. So-and-so. This is Jennifer with, eXp Realty. I'm calling in response to your request for a home valuation. I said, how are you? Do you have a few minutes? Good morning. And he said, hi, Jennifer. I said, I am so glad that I got your information because I know that area really well. So that was kind of my lead in. Most people that I talk to, I get calls all the time, haven't even looked up the house. So that was a good start. And then so I said, it's not just a house, it's a beautiful piece of property. So I was immediately looking for some way to like compliment him, because I looked up and noticed that he's been there for 40 years. So I kind of guessed his age. So I was trying to do what one of the other calls suggested, was to get him talking about his property and like kind of find his pain point of like what he's interested in, like why he wants to leave, what he loves about it, what he doesn't like about it, because I can't even find out how many bedrooms it has. So I'm trying to get more information. So I can't even give him like a value because I can't find anything about it other than it's 12 acres and yada. So that got him talking.
Sure. So, and then that's kind of where it left off and then fizzled, I'm assuming.
No, it didn't fizzle. It kind of got a little bit deeper. What he was saying was that I hear, sorry if anyone's from California, but Californians are exiting California like mad, and they're coming to Tennessee and they're coming to Texas. So our
Okay.
property values are going up like crazy. And he was like, I hear
Okay.
things like people will buy for this and this. And he was like, I hear this. And so I was trying to understand if he's like looking to list his house now, if he's wanting a value, all these things. And so then we go into the details about like some of that stuff. So we were connecting on that. And I think he was understanding that I'm understanding exactly where he's at. And
Yes.
so I think he was impressed by that. We were connecting,
For sure.
but then I wasn't sure what he wanted. And then he was like, actually, I don't think I need your help.
So
Then I was like, I'm not sure what I heard or did wrong.
So I got you. So obviously you're in California and the listings in California.
I'm in Tennessee. I'm in the Nashville area.
So the listing is in your area or it's in California?
It's here in the Nashville area.
Sorry, my apologies. Okay, so this is what I would have done, and I will show you a few things. So a few things. I think in the States, you guys, so in Canada, because that's where I'm out of, I'm in Toronto. Basically, I can go onto the title search and I can see when the house was built, how old the home is, how many bathrooms, even though if it's not on the MLS system. Do you guys have a tool like that?
I need to ask my mentor because I couldn't find anything because it was built in the 70s. And
Okay.
our state is not a state where they have to show. So I have to figure that part out.
Okay.
But I went on
I'm
3
gonna show
different
you.
places and I couldn't find it. So I just probably need a new.
Nope, totally understand. So what I would have done in that call, say, hey, listen, it's great that you've been telling me a little bit about your house. And, I'm very thankful that you came on. We're having great conversation. But, in the way that I can help you to help narrow down the range is I don't know if you'd be open to it, but what I would love to do is I would love to come by, take a tour of your house, just so I can see it as eyes as a buyer, because I work with a lot of buyers and sellers. So I'm going to now be able to get a better value of your home. We're going to look at the condition. We're going to see any of the upgrades that you've done. We're going to go over some of the market stats and go over some of the comparables, and then we're going to price your home. And by the time, the tour is done, I'm going to know where market value is for your house. And then I'm going to position other vendors that I think in my service house that the house needs in order to get you as much money as possible. Because as a seller, I'm sure I'm thinking that you're going to want as much money as possible. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Well, are you available sometime next week or the week after? I'd be more than happy to come by and just take a quick tour. It's not going to be invasive at all. Are you available sometime next week or the week after? So if they say yes there, you're good, right? Now, if they go, I'm not really interested, I'm kind of just want to know the online assessment, I don't really want someone come over my house, right? Be like, okay, no problem. I totally understand that. And, I totally understand that you're in the information stage. However, let me ask you a question. If there was a buyer that was able to give you a really great number for your house today, would you consider that? Would you accept that offer? Yes, I would. Okay. Well, let me tell you something. Let me come by, take a tour of your house, because just like any mechanic needs to see the car and any doctor needs to see the patient, a real estate agent needs to see the home, right? So let me come by next week, right? I'll take a quick tour of your home. I do have a booklet, and this is where everyone may differ, but my script is for myself is I do have a booklet. I'm going to go over the market stats, the comparables, and then I'm going to let you know what market value is. And then we can kind of talk from there. And if I have a buyer available, I'd be more than happy to. But remember, as you being my client, my job is to get you as much money for your home as possible. So if I can bring a buyer, great. But if I feel like there's more opportunity that I can get you more money, hey, all day, because that's what it's all about, as you just mentioned, right? So are you available sometime next week? At that point, they'll probably say yes. And you'll hear on my calls, I don't really get too many objections. They just kind of say yes. Obviously, it's not like that all the time, but for most of the calls, it's pretty simple, for me at least. But people who are on the phone already know, essentially, I know my shit. So for example, what I'm going to pull up here and what I have showed on your screen is, let me pull up a call and I'm going to show you what I do when someone comes in. I know for people in the States that are going to be different, but I don't know what it is. But I'll show you for anyone in Canada. I'll show you what I'm doing. So give me 1 second. I had a really good call yesterday. That was really good. And I was able to book an appointment after she told me no. So this one's a great one. So This is the person, they come in, right? So the address is this. So let me put in the address. This one's good because it's just very similar to what you've gone through, Jen. So one second. So they're original owners. It went down in the family. So this is what I see, just freaking trees. So great. I know the area because I grew up there, so I can really do it. MLS on in the Canadian end got a facelift, so everything is much easier to see. So basically, the house was built in like '68. They got the house in the '70s, whatever. Looks like they transferred. So what I've learned from here is she bought the house from the parents. So there was no mortgage needed, and then I guess she got married or something here, and they did some sort of transfer. So there's not a lot of information, right? Where I can find some info is if I go into Geo's like the title search here, 525 Pine Ridge, pick a ring, perfect. So then I always go on here. So people in Toronto or in Canada, go on Geo. So I get to see where the house is, right? So from here, I get to see it's built 1964, 3 beds, 2 bathrooms. Okay, it's only 0.22 acres in Pickering, and which is fine. And then I get to see the titles and changes over here, right? So that's all good. So this is what you need to do before any call. Any call, you need to do your shit. You need to do your homework. So for example, over here, what I would be saying in this call, so Jen, how the call will start and you'll hear it is, hey Jen, hope you're doing well. How's your day going? Good. Already just giving you a shout. So thanks so much for taking time out of your day. Are you living the dream like I am? Like a humor type of person, like I, laugh about everything. So my sales approach and I don't even say sales approach. Naturally, how I communicate with people, I make them laugh. That's just what it is, right? You either like me or you don't, and see you later. I don't really care. So, living the dream. How about you? Usually I always get a laugh out of it. And that's a good thing because now they're going to give me time. Now they don't see me as a, someone just telemarketing them essentially, right? So then they usually go, yeah, living the dream as well. You know what it is. I go, yeah, for sure. So, hey, I just want to just get right into it. If you don't mind me doing that. I've already done homework on your listing. I want to take a moment just to thank you for your time. I want to let you know right off the bat that this is not a sales call by any means. This is more so of helping you find your online assessment of your home and then, letting you know what sales are going on in the neighborhood and help you find your online, assessment. Does that sound good? Yes, it's good. Okay, perfect. So I've done homework on your property. I just have a few questions. I'm going to go over some of the information I found. If you can just kind of give me some more information or correct me, let me know. Okay, no problem. So, hey, I see that your house is not on the market. I'm assuming it's from the family, whatever. You're right. Well, I see that was built in 1964, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Is that still the house? The reason why you say this is because they're going to be like, who the hell am I talking to? How does this person know so much about the house, right? Because right there, you want to show you're a professional. You want to show that you know the neighborhood and you know the home without even going in the house. Because now you're building rapport and now you're building trust and now you're building professionalism. Wow, this person knows his shit. He knows what he's doing. So that's kind of the opening thing, right? And then you go into the conversation where it's like, so can you give me a little bit more information about the house? Have you done any, stuff? So I don't want to go through this whole script because it's going to be literally on this phone call that I'm going to play next, but that's essentially how it is. So I'm going to play this phone call so you guys can hear, how the call goes and how I do my conversations. And then we kind of go from there. Okay.
Hello. Hey, good morning, Marlies.
Can everyone hear? Just give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to pause and talk and then resume. So it might be annoying, but I think it's really good information.
Please, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. It's just Nick Moretti giving you a call this morning. I'm glad to hear your morning's going well. You living the dream this morning too? That's good. Well, hey, I just want to first off, thank you for connecting with me. I also want to let you know that, this is not a sales call by any means. This is more of just trying to, figure out a little bit more about your home and, what's kind of sold in your neighborhood and kind of give you more info like that, okay? Just want to let you know. Just have a few questions because obviously I've been doing some research on your house, but I feel like the house is built in 1960 family, right?
Yes.
Since then?
Since the 70s. No, actually
Yeah.
the house was built in 1957.
Okay.
And my parents bought it, I want to say 69, 70. I think they moved in
So do you see in less than a minute? She's already giving me good information.
January 70.
Okay.
So I was 4.
Yeah.
Just turning 4.
Yeah.
In the family. And then, I was living in Ottawa, got divorced, was coming back, and I bought
Okay.
from
Cool.
them. So,
That's awesome. Well, I'm happy to hear that. Now, obviously, since it hasn't been on MLS, like I won't really know too much detail. So that's where I'm going to need you to help me out on this. But I can tell you that I know Rosebank very well. I actually grew up in the same community. I was on Mount Nash, so right off of Oakwood there. So,
okay.
Yeah, so I know the area
You're much
very well.
younger. You're much younger than I am.
Yeah, I'm 33 now. You sound like you're less than 30. So, I mean, you know. But yeah, so I know the area very, very well.
Yeah, I had to throw something in there because I don't know if someone may feel different if it's someone younger. Even right. So for me, I had to make a joke or I had to let her know like I'm still a cool cat and my age doesn't mean anything and I'm still the boss. So anyways, just had to go through that.
You know, I grew up Pickering and then, you know, now I'm in Bowmanville for the last 5 years. So, you know, definitely seen how Pickering has changed and obviously the buildings that are around there, you know, so that's pretty cool. So now, can you give me a little bit more information? So from what I see from like the titles, right? The title search is basically like, I see that it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, with 2 fireplaces, but is it like a bungalow or is it like a side or a back split?
It's a side split.
Okay.
It has 3 gas fireplaces.
Okay. I'm assuming you guys finished the basement then, that unfinished spot, right?
Well, yeah. So there's
Originally.
So do you see how I'm already like, it feels like I've already been in the house, but I haven't. I don't even know what it looks like, but I'm already going through, you know, really good questions and already doing my homework. So she's giving me solid information and she's literally like genuine in the call and being present. And that's what you want.
It's kind of a weird layout because my parents in the 80s put a renovation. They took the carport and put a kitchen over there.
Okay.
So under there is a separate basement to the rest of the house. So we call that the north wing basement. And then the rest of the house has a basement and then a further basement. So But it doesn't go under the other basement. It's a little deeper.
Okay.
So that basement is under the side split part, I guess, where the bedrooms are. And then the further basement is under the main floor area.
Okay.
So it's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath.
Yeah. I can see that. Well, that's what I see there. As real estate agents, I just always say, you know, how many bathrooms there are, right? Whether there are 2 or 3 or 4 pieces, right? I can totally understand that. Now, can you give me some more information in the home? Like, have you guys done any renos? Is it still original?
My parents renovated it in the 80s and then, you know, got divorced, didn't have the money and didn't do anything to it. So, you know, done some painting, you know, redid flooring, you know, one-off projects kind of thing. But at one point, I talked to a few people and I was basically told it was a tear down. And you know,
so more of a building lot, essentially.
Yeah. And with that in mind, I never really wanted to put a huge amount of money into it, knowing that I'd probably never get it back. So that's the kind of mode that we're in, is that we're not doing any major repairs. We put a new gas fireplace in the kitchen last year, but that was because that's the only heat source on that side of the house. So the house has a lot of quirks, which adds to the sale value.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can say though, a lot of people do like quirkiness now. Like, I mean, a lot of people, what I'm finding is they don't really want cookie cutter builds anymore, right? I mean, you know, so just to build value, right? But once someone builds a certain amount of value, they kind of like some uniqueness. Obviously, you know, I can understand where you're coming from on your home, but I'm just saying that people like quirkiness. That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
like the house next to us, it was a cute little cottage. It just had a crawl space. It's right at the corner of Rouge Heinrich. It was like an 1.5 acre lot. Great neighbors to have. It was an awesome lot. He sold it for a great price. And a builder took it and put 3 monster homes on it. So, you know, I no longer have, like, our backyard used to be 100% 100% private. And well, now I've got this house that looks right down into my yard.
Yeah, no.
That's also a difference. Yeah.
I can understand that. And like, honestly, it's crazy because that area in Rosebank, it's crazy to see all those executive homes being built now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I remember just seeing just normal homes. Now I'm seeing like
Yes.
executive homes, 5,000 square feet, pimped out, you know,
Yes.
the Toronto area, right? So it's crazy. What kind of dog do you have?
The one you hear is the Mexican Rescue.
So do you see how like things are happening on the phone call, but I'm so present and I'm so like zoned in that I'm not even letting the dog phase me, and I'm using the dog like I'm using something that could throw anyone off, and I'm using it as a positive. Oh, what kind of dog do you have? I'm a dog person. That's what you're going to hear next. So these are great things during the conversation. But look, we're 6 minutes in. She's giving me all the story of her life, right? Which is exactly what we want.
You.
Okay, nice.
Actually, I'm getting a call from your assistant, it looks like.
Yes. Someone's calling you right now?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm on the line, so I'll just check in with that person. So don't worry. I'm so sorry about that.
No, I'm sorry about the barking. She just
Oh, it's all
across
good.
the street or doing some work, so
Oh,
there's a lot of
don't worry
trucks
about
parked
it.
on the street. Okay.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. I get it. I have a dog too, so don't worry. So yeah, so I mean, okay, so based on some of the comps, obviously there are.
So now it's like we have the story. So how is Nick going to position this to get the appointment, right? So this is where it comes out really nicely.
They're a little bit all over the place, right? So just because like, you know, some are selling for, you know, $1 million, some are selling for 2.5, right?
This is the area here.
You know, I don't know if you'd be open to it, but since I'm very limited on my end, I mean, to give you a better value instead of an online range that may not make sense, right? I don't know if you'd be open for me to come by and take a quick tour. I do leave a booklet in this tour. I do go over the market stats, and I do also go over the comparables that I feel that are, you know, very similar to your house. And then once I come to your house and see, you know, the home, the tour, then I'm able to kind of narrow down that range and kind of give you, you know, a more real number, right? And regardless, you know, this is great whether you take advantage of it or not. You know, the good thing is that you'll learn more about your real estate equation. So you'll know, hey, you know, my house is worth X amount. What does that lead me to purchase if I choose to make a move, right? Whether you take advantage of it or not, like I was saying.
So just for full disclosure, when I leave here, I'm moving up to the cottage.
Okay,
So
nice.
I already have a place to go, so that's not in the equation. But
okay, perfect.
And also, it's 2 years from now.
Totally understand.
That's when my husband retires. I just saw this thing on Facebook, so I clicked on it.
Sure.
This whole process went through.
So this is really good objections that I think anyone needs to write down, because everyone is going to say the same stuff.
So I don't really see the point of doing it right now, because we're not going to sell unless somebody were to walk to our door and say, here's 1.5, then I'd probably be gone at the end of the week, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Now I do know.
So she told me 1.5 is her number. Great info. Is it too high? Yeah. But this is what I do.
On Rougemount, a small house with a much deeper lot, but half the width lot, roughly, just sold for over $1 million. And I know
$1.5 million in 4 days. Yeah, 3-bedroom, 1 bathrooms. It was a bungalow.
Yeah, I think
this is a little bungalow.
And that's why it's important to have MLS on there before you even have this call. You pull up what's available and you pull up, because they're going to now testing you. They're testing to see what it is, right? So now it's like, she told me the address. I already had it. So I'm looking at it while she's talking to me. That sold for $1.05 million.
Currently, I was babysat in that house.
Oh, were you, eh?
But that, you know, that I know has been happening. All the old original houses that I remember from my childhood are just slowly disappearing, right? But I do know that we've got a wider street. We're on a better street.
Yeah.
I used to think it was a better street, but I don't know anymore. But the one thing that I will, just full disclosure to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you probably looked at the house on the apps or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's 4 houses.
There's trees.
Yeah, there's a lot of trees. So there's 4 houses that are very similar. And in the same split level, they were built at the same time.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. She's talking about these.
Lot. So
I can see that.
My backyard actually touches pretty much all 3 backyards.
Yeah, I see that. Yours is a little
So-
bit bigger.
Yeah, so the four of us actually talked, and if a builder approached, we would all consider going at the same time.
Yeah,
Jackpot. Basically, I got the listing appointment to go to, but basically what my goal is going to be, and I'll tell you guys later, but now she just told me 4 people are all into it.
for sure, for sure.
So, but the thing is, my house would need to go, like, I couldn't hold out because then it wouldn't be of value because you couldn't even out a lot based on mine. So, but, if you know builders.
Yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say next because I was actually just on Rosebank by the railroad track. There's like an executive hub there that was built recently, and that builder has a few more lots there, and there's a few more builders in Rosebank right there that actually live there that are picking up lots. So that's what I kind of actually wanted to bring to your attention because, you know, I mean, you know, I'm a successful real estate agent, right? So I have, you know, builders, I have all different types of clientele. You know, I was just going to say, like, I think it'd be worth it if you were open to it, for me just to come by and take some photos of the lot so I can let people know what it is. And if there's a number associated with, you know, obviously you're saying 1.5, but if there's a number that a builder has an appetite for and want to see your lot and, you know, interested with that, I mean, I think that could be a little bit more of interest because there are builders that are, you know, always circling around Rosebank because obviously like that's where the value is there, right? Because, you know, a lot of builders have been doing the same thing, tearing down small houses, you know, and building those executive homes that are selling for $2, $3, or $4 million. Right.
So the people who live directly behind me, they're good friends of ours, and we are on the same timeline as we are.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could probably look at their places.
Now, do you see what happened? Because I positioned it right. So now she's saying, okay, she told me, no, I'm not interested. Then she's like, okay. And I told her that I would take photos. Okay. So then she's like, oh shit, this is getting real. So she's like, okay, you know what? And if you're able to do that, my neighbor will do it as well. So now when I go to this listing appointment, I'm going to now try to get her signed on an exclusive, which I will. And then I'm going to now let my client know that you could probably build all through that. So what I would be going to do next is going to the city. Hey, city, if I was able to get this much lot, what could I build on there? Because if you go to a builder right now and just say, hey, this is the opportunity, it's a good introduction, but you know, people want to get shit done. They want someone that will come and get whatever is done and give them the opportunity so they can get it going. So then I'm doing some more homework. And then if I'm able to join a few more people, guess what? Their number is going to be a lot more. So that's why it's super important to ask questions. And even with the objections, just like be scripted and learn how to get through it, right? So many people would have stopped at minute 4. This is a 15-minute call, right? So I'm going to play the rest and then we'll talk about it a little bit more.
At the same time, I'll go talk to them. And when you do come, I'll talk to him.
Now she wants me to come. She's like, okay, when you come, I'm like, okay.
To him and see if he's interested, and then you can go look at that lot too. Because at a minimum, like I don't know if you know Gail Lawler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know about him, but
no idea.
But I know the name.
Well, she lives diagonally behind me. She's in one of the 4 houses. She was the one who was like initially very on board, but her husband has now decided he wants to die in that house. So I don't know how
every realtor don't want to do that one.
how eager she would be to leave. But again, price is right, maybe.
Of course. And that's where I think, you know, I think if you're open to it, if I can come by, I can also give you a better idea of what a builder lot would charge for that. I mean, I know that you have your number, which is amazing, but at least you'll know what it is. And, you know, like I said, at least I'll see the spot. And then from there, I'll be able to get a better idea, you know, of the lot, take some photos, and then maybe send it to a few of my clients that might be a good fit. Or I can, you know, talk to other agents that I know have builds that are, you know, open to taking stuff like that. Because if we can get you some good money and it could work before your timeline, it sounds like you may, you know, consider an opportunity like that since you're going to the cottage.
Yeah, like as I said, that's if you get that offer, I'd be gone at the end of the week, kind of.
Yeah, but, see you later.
You know,
right?
Everything's always negotiable, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, I love this girl. This girl knows how to talk business.
Yeah,
like even if somebody wanted to buy it now and I stay for a year,
that's usually what will probably happen or something like that. Or
that's cool.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, it would be closing and then you would be renting from them or something like that. I mean, we would figure it out, or, they would give us X amount of closing day or something like that. So we'll figure out,
Right.
what that is. But I think something like that would be more of a good educational, chat. And
Sure.
then, if there's opportunity that we can work together, I mean, I think super cool. So I think we would be a good fit together. You know your stuff, so that'd be half of everything, you know what I mean? And also we both know the area very well, so we both know, how expensive the neighborhood can be, right? So
Right.
it's great that you guys or your parents bought this house way back then, when Pickering wasn't even on the map.
Right, exactly.
So yeah. So I don't know if you're available in the next coming weeks, to come by.
Next week I am. This week I'm pretty much crammed full.
Yeah, no worries. I feel this week for myself is just gonna fly by too. I feel like the weekend flew by so fast, and it's already Monday. So
I know.
that's always great. Do you want to do something like maybe next week Thursday or
Sure.
Tuesday?
The 22nd.
You let me know.
Yeah, 22nd. That's good.
The 22nd. Do you want to do it in the morning or the afternoon?
Sure, morning's good. Afternoon
Sure.
if you want to meet my husband, so up to you.
Sure. Yeah, I don't mind meeting both of you if that's okay.
Sure.
Just because it's easier, and then if you both have any questions, that could be super simple. Do you want to say what time in the afternoon?
Say 4 o'clock?
Yeah, I can do 4 o'clock, no problem. So I'll just send you a text. So this is my office line. I'm going to send you a text on my direct number.
Okay.
That's going to be my number. So if anything changes, let me know. But if nothing changes, I'll see you on the 22nd on Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay,
very much.
awesome. Hey, I really appreciate you not hanging up on me. So thank you so much.
Talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's how you do it. So that's a really great conversation showing objection. She said from the beginning, like whole call, cool, great opening, gave me some info, established who I am, talked to her about trying to get through the house. She said, no problem. Fact found, asked more questions, got a hook, got something that she's really interested in, which is she wants to be a building lock. She doesn't need to sell and buy. She just needs to sell and then purchase. So she wants the most amount of money. Now she's also told me by asking questions, and now she's verified. She knows I'm the right person for the job. She's now giving me other people that would want to do the same thing. So it's really important to ask questions. And even if you can see, at the end of the call, I was just shooting the shit. I was just being me on how I would talk to any one of you over the phone. So it goes to show, just be yourself. If you start being, and what has really helped me in my career is, in the beginning, you sound like a robot, right? But it's really nice that once you get scripted and the conversation, how the flow, and the questions, how to close, people go, wow, it's so nice not to talk to a robot. It's I'm basically a robot. I just have masked it very, very well. So that's that's the most important thing about lead genning and stuff like that, and making sure that you're scripted. I know it's kind of annoying, and it's I don't feel like doing it, but you're going to lose opportunities if you don't practice a little bit, right? And scripting, if you don't have anyone to role play, scripting could be something of just writing a script down and asking questions, and that's pretty much it. But how did everyone feel about the call? Is there any wins? Is there any things you want to adopt? Is there anything at all? Is there something that I did bad on? I mean, whatever you guys think. No? Everyone good?
Well, I'll jump on.
Yeah, feel free.
I really appreciate the way that, hi, Nick. I really appreciate the way you just kept the conversation going. Even with the resistance that she was kind of putting up, well, I'm not ready. Well, there's this. Well, she was still giving you information. So I feel like the rapport that you established in the beginning, and then also whatever she pushed back, you listened, is something I noticed as well. So I really appreciate that. That was awesome. So keep that conversation going even through resistance. I'm taking notes on that.
Exactly. And that's where it is. And this is the thing. This is what I've learned in real estate, okay? The money is made when it's awkward, okay? And what do I mean by that? When you're asking for an appointment, or you're asking, are you ready to move forward or whatever? What I did, especially over the phone, I went like this and went, because I love to talk, and when it's awkward, I want to say something, but it's just I can't, because the first person that talks loses. So you have to get comfortable asking questions and letting them be crickets until someone talks, but you don't talk first because you lose if you do. That's why if you noticed, in the call, especially in the beginning, and I let her fill in the blanks. You don't want the introduction to be awkward because the introduction is the set of the tone of the call. So if you do the intro wrong, they're not going to be engaged and they're not really going to like you. Not okay. Let me rewind here. They're going to not choose you, not like you, but they're not going to feel like you're the best representation because it doesn't matter if you're a great real estate agent. It's all about connecting with others. People don't care that you can get them $1 million over asking. They want someone that they know that they can trust, obviously do the job and feel like they have this best rapport with. So super important to have those things. But yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Amber. And I feel that everyone could kind of use that as an opening pitch, right? And it's just more so in the first 30 seconds, first 20 seconds, trying to vibe with someone. I'm not even trying to get real into the conversation. Remember, you lead the conversation, just like a listing appointment. You lead the appointment. So if you messed up or you missed step 2 or 3, no one knows except for you. And the only person that will mess up is you because you're like, shit, I didn't do step 3. I missed it, but it is what it is, right? So it's about that. And if you noticed in the call after I had the vibe check, it was more so like, so this is how the call's going to go. So I just want to let you know that, I just want to thank you for your time. Thanks for booking an appointment with me, for the online assessment for your home. So I'm going to go over some online comps. I'm going to fact find about your house, and then we're going to find out an online assessment. Does that sound good? Great. Did you not see in that call? I didn't even give her a number, right? It's just to get them started because by the end of the conversation, they're not going to remember about that, right? So that's where it's important. And remember, anyone who's coming in just saying that they're just checking, cool, they're just checking. But let's put it this way. If you're looking for a car and you see an ad on a car, you're going to sign up for information. The reason why you're doing the car is because you're probably looking for a car in the near future. So you have to understand that these clients, these leads that come in want to do something, but they're just thinking about it. So there is pull, but it's just, you got to find the pull and you got to connect with them. All right. Luke, I think you're next, right, buddy?
First, I just want to say you're a beast, bro.
Thanks, man. Just years of just getting rejected and fine tuning the recipe,
100%, man. And you're in Toronto. I'm in London. I'm 2 hours away.
Oh, perfect. I went to London the other 3 months ago. So hopefully next time I'm in town, I get to see you.
Yeah. But what I wanted to say with my calls, what I do, I kind of take the same approach initially as you. Like I start off, hey, I'm Luke. How are you doing? Blah, blah, let's dive into it. The same way you said. But what I like that you did that I don't currently do is I just, like, you blast them with the information about their house, what you can see on Geo, right?
Exactly.
That like, they're like, holy shit, this guy's been inside my house already.
Right?
That just gets them going. Usually I start it like the same way, but then I just say, hey, okay, do you want to tell me a bit about your house? Because I can see the outside, I just can't see the inside. But I like to give the information first, and that kind of makes them feel like more trusting and that you actually have done the research. You're the area, your house.
Exactly.
Professional, right?
And I feel like that little switch in anyone doing the call is going to get you so much further. So before you do a call, like I said, people in the States, I'm sorry, but I don't know how it works down there. But here in Canada, you would want to pull up the past listing. You want to pull up the geo so you know how old, what the house is structurally on the title search. You want to pull up what's available that's similar to their house, and you want to pull up what has sold in the last, in 2024, I would pull up 2024. Unless it's a very unique property, then maybe 2023. And then also bringing up market stats. Knowing what, Bowmanville sells for, or knowing what Ajax sells for, or Toronto, or London, or whatever, right? So that's what's really going to make a difference. And during the call, they're going to know, like, shit, I got a real person, because everyone who's doing these calls are doing what everyone is doing right now. Hey, yeah, can you tell me about your house? Cool, great. There's no pull. Doesn't show like, this is the way that I think. When you go to a dealership, when you go to a stockbroker, when you go to anyone super professional, you see right away the good people and people that are not great, unfortunately, right? But the people that you remember are the people that ask questions, understand what you're doing, and get you what you want at the best price or whatever it is, right? So we want to be, instead of asking these questions, we want to already almost have a recipe and a system and a solution for them right away. So in that call with the builder, I was basically saying like, listen, I already work with people like that. I already speak the language. I already know what it is. So I just need to come in and take a look. And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. So it's because I had a solution right away for that. So that's the thing. And remember, if people are objecting you, it's a not yet. It's not a no. It's not whatever. It's a not yet. So basically when I hear no, it's like, okay, they don't see the value yet, and I haven't connected their problem to the solution. And that's all you have to think about. So instead of just like picking up the phone and calling them and going there, spend 15, 20 minutes and get a little bit more information about the area. Because guess what? There's going to be other people that are going to be in that area. And sometimes when you're mobile, you won't be able to have access to your phone right away or whatever. But since you've done these comps, you're already doing homework in the area and you already know the listings. So it helps you a lot more. And if you're not a listing agent, these are things that you need to do for sure, or else you're not going to be a listing agent. Because I'm not going to sell my house if someone doesn't know it. The only way someone's going to get lucky if I have a personal connection with them. But even if I have a personal connection with them, they still got to get me the money. So just that's pretty much it. You know, it's a great time. It's just a little bit harder, but you know, it's better. Like I love listing agent. I love being a listing agent all day long. I love having the power. I love like, especially negotiating with other agents. I love to say, no, come higher. So it's like a great feeling, right? And also it's a little bit easier once I have success. I've showed them my sales book and stuff like that. For a little bonus today, I'm going to show you guys what I come with. So give me 1 second. I'm going to go to my other office and then I'm going to show you guys because give me 1 second. So I left my other part in the car, but I'll show you. Okay. So when I go to, actually, you know what? Hold on. Can you go to my car and grab that? Yeah. Thanks. Keys are in my pocket. Sorry, give me 1 second because I think this is going to be great for everyone. So, okay. So what I bring, before I show you guys what I bring, what are you guys bringing to a listing appointment? Crickets? So when someone goes to a listing appointment now, what are you guys bringing?
I have
Anyone?
I have a like kind of a small
Now show
booklet.
us how it's done. And that you go through the tour and then you kind of go through market stats and comps.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I can.
Yeah.
So you just said you brought a little booklet, right?
No, sorry. I have a little book that kind of just details the process of selling a home and kind of what the seller can expect to go through when, you know, they list their property and things like that. It's a little bit like information guide on the process of selling. And I kind of leave that with them. It has my contact info in it. And they kind of get a general idea of what my process is here. I also, you know, after I leave the presentation, I usually send them an email with a bit more information on myself, my brokerage. Sorry, can you hear me?
Sorry, Nick. It seems like you might be lagging just a bit. Just let us know if you're able to hear. But Gotham, we can hear you loud and clear. You're good. I think we can continue. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah. Nick, I don't know how much of what I said you heard, but let me know if you want me to repeat myself.
I think, Nick, might be a good idea if you shut off and shut your cam back on.
Sorry, I just switched internets. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
we can. You're frozen, but we can hear you. Okay, you're back.
Okay, perfect. Yo, that's a sick name, Gotham. That's a sick name. Okay.
Appreciate it. Man.
So, yes. So I hear that you bring a book through, you do the market stats, you send comps, then next day you go over like an email YU essentially, right?
Yeah, basically. And the book is kind of just detailing the process of selling a home and what they can expect from their end and from what I would provide them. And then the email kind of details my brokerage's stats, what I've done for my clients, and a bit more information on some packages we offer. We offer sellers $25K interest free to renovate their home. So a bit more information on that.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. That's amazing. Okay. So what I do is I'm bringing a few things. So when I'm going to a listing appointment, I am bringing 3 things. Okay. I'll show you what the 3 things are. So I'm bringing these 3 things. So this one here is my listing the presentation. It's a book that I have branded on the back. On my newer ones, I have like my contact info in gold as well. But this is essentially what it looks like. So I have, let me just do this here. I have like the listing appointment, whatever, a little bit about us, what you can expect, what the team is, blah, 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 the selling process, why staging matters, why social media matters, whatever. And then I highlight a lot of small businesses in the area, so I put that in my stuff. And then market stats, and then comms from oldest to newest with the photos. So I do oldest to newest because I want to show people what the market's been doing, right? Next part, this is for me. So in this folder, we have Geo Warehouse on there. We have the listing documents. We have the showing instructions. We have the update on the updates, like, you know, any updates information sheet. I also print out the same comparables, not the photos, but in black and white, because what happens is you may go to a listing appointment and 6 months later, they call you and you want to show them what's available, right? So, and you want to know what the difference was and you want to know what you brought before. I mean, at least I do. And then after the appointment, I see if I'm qualified to sell your house, which I am. And this is my past sales book. We just got a newer one, so I still have more, but usually I have like a sale thickness of like out to here. So I go, obviously I sell your house. I sell a lot of houses. Here are some of our listings that we've done, and I've explained like why, right? So I'm coming through super correct, and no, I'm a listing agent. They're going to know. That's why my ratios are pretty good. But remember, with online leads, you're doing so many like appointments. Like last year, I think I did about 80 something listing appointments. This year, I'm probably already at 60 something. So we're doing great on that end. But that's pretty much what I'm bringing to a listing appointment. So I'm bringing a lot of good info. So like, this is what some of your competition is bringing if they're going to call someone else to come through. But there's a lot of great stuff in here. Now, regarding Jen's question, regarding about NAR and stuff like that. So I don't really know how to search for homes. I would honestly ask your mentor or someone in the office, because they're going to know your system better than I would, because I don't use it. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, other than that, that's pretty much it. Any kind of questions, any remarks, anything at all? I know I'm giving you guys a lot of info. Now, feel free.
Hey, Nick, I had a quick question. Something that I've kind of been struggling with is I had two quick questions, actually. When do you really disqualify a lead? Is it like a certain number of touches, certain number of calls? What is your process for being like, okay, you know what, this person, I'm not going to dump any more time into this person?
When they say F you, or I'm not interested. If they haven't answered for a year, I'm still calling them.
I'll show you. What does that look like? Is it like probably 5 in the first week and then every week? Like, what does that look like over the span of a?
No, I'm not calling 5 times a week to one person. Like, I'm calling them once or twice. If they don't answer, maybe wait next week, send them some good information about what's sold in the neighborhood. And then maybe giving them a call. Obviously, sometimes you forget about them and they call you, but there's some really good, and I'll show you some examples. Like, one second, just through conversations and stuff. So like, just to show you, like, this is a buyer who's going to sell or whatever, but now they're just going to buy and keep their property as investment property. So like, just to show you, so like, obviously he's green. I'm green. Yeah. So sure, look, right? But then he catches up, look, ghost again, but then catches up, and they've already put an offer in. We lost, but I mean, now they're motivated. So the thing that I'm telling you is that you don't know when someone's ready. Randomly, sometimes I'll get a call saying, hey, Nick, sorry, I missed sorry, I haven't got back to you, but I'm ready now. If they're not answering you, it's a not yet. Or if you see they're listing on the MLS market. But other than that, I just keep going. The problem is that once you have so many leads, unless you have an ISA, it's hard to catch up with everybody.
Yeah. And my other quick question was, when I talked to you on the phone last week, we talked about, we both like to drop off a CMA if we don't get a response, or drop off something. At what point do you do that? Like, you just go, is it like 2-3 calls, you missed them, you know what, whenever I'm in the area, I'm going to go knock on the door kind of thing?
I would wait maybe 3 weeks to a month.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And what I did is this. You got to be smart too, right? So I had a gold box, put packing tape in it, wrapped it, and went onto their door and kind of, knock on their door. If they don't answer, I leave it there, and I have a note saying, hey, I know that you were looking for an online assessment. Market's doing a little bit better. You're going to need this if you do choose to sell. So here, and you'll have your business card there. So let me know what you think. And inside there is just packing tape. So they're like, oh, that's creative, right? Because you don't want to just leave something there. You got to make it. Remember, this is what I've really been thinking to get to the next level. And it's all about experience. We need to give people better experiences, because once you wow someone, they're like, I got you. If someone did something cool to my house, you're my fucking guy. So it's just about, think about the experience that you want people to have. You just putting something on a card or something, like, you know, people don't really like care, right? Another method that does work is maybe a $5 gift card to Tim Hortons, saying, hey, like, a nail a card or
I do
drop it
something
off.
similar. Yeah. I do a thank you card with a
Starbucks
scratch off lottery. I do like a handwritten thank you card, and then I do a scratch off lottery ticket, like a fun one where you scratch stuff, and then I just say it was a pleasure speaking with you, or whatever. Just this is cool.
Exactly. But I would do the coffee thing and be like, hey, if you ever want to talk more about your listing, you know, I'd love to grab a coffee with you, or something like that. So just think about experiences. Like, this business is all about experience. The difference between me, you, Nav, Jen, and everyone is the experience that we give our client, and obviously, like, you know, market knowledge and all that shit. But really, it's the experience, right? When I first got into real estate, I had people that messaged me 6 months, a year later, and I thought, like, I was pissed because I was like, fuck, like, they just dropped off, whatever, like, whatever, right? But really, like, we don't realize what is going on in other people's lives. We're so caught up on us and why we're not getting the commission, or we're not getting the deals, or we're not writing offers, but we also, like, don't realize what other people are going through. So when they reach out to me, I'd be like, hey, listen, like, hey, thanks so much for, you know, reaching out to me again. Like, I really appreciate that. I was kind of concerned because I didn't hear from you, but if you don't mind me asking, like, why did you come back? And they go, Nick, all of them said, Nick, it's the way you made me feel. Once I heard that, I was like, light bulb. Okay, give everyone a fucking great experience and make them laugh. Make it like a great, like, interaction. Like, don't be, have fun, joke about them when you're doing the tour, ask questions on what they're doing. If they're going to the cottage on the weekend, maybe next time you see them before you go, bring, like, you know, like some floaties that they can blow up or something. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It's just anything that you can really connect and do that. Because when they're at the cottage and now they have all these floaties, they're like, oh shit, maybe they bring friends and family over. Who gave you that? Oh, my real estate agent. Oh, well, that's pretty fucking cool. My agent didn't do shit all for me. And that's how you build referrals. Sorry, I'm Italian, I swear. It is what it is. But other than that, like, that's it. So just be creative and give an experience. That's what it's about. So I'm done ranting, but that's it. But yeah, so that's what I would recommend. Start thinking outside the box. You don't know what you're thinking of? Ask AI, go on YouTube, figure it out. There's someone that's already ahead of you and I, and they're already doing it, and they're already sharing the free information. So it's just like, now we need to be researchers and figure out what is the best fit for us that is, you know, genuine with us, to get other people to have great experiences. So yeah, and obviously use social media. If you're not using social media right now, like, you're missing out so many things. But that's pretty much it. Any closing remarks before we head out and you guys can sell and get some listing appointments and get some deals?
Hey Nick, I had a question. If
What's up?
you have time. So once you get a listing, so I have one coming up end of this week.
Cool.
What kind of advertising, or like what kind of stuff do you want to put out once you get the listing to get more business coming in? What do you want to do with that listing once you have it?
So yeah, great question. So targeted ads, obviously, but really it comes down to the marketing material you make. So with my listings and why they're selling higher, faster, and I'm getting more leads coming in naturally now, is because I do a few things. I spend a lot of money on social media and our videos and good quality, and actually, you know, good videos that people will resonate with. So I actually do a coming soon video, right? So if you guys want to see the stuff that I do, check me out on Already Real Estate. You'll see what I'm talking about. But our coming soon, we get like 10 to 25,000 and people sharing within a week. The second thing is we also do a branded tour, but we also do something called the lifestyle video. So I show people where to live in the house and how to do that. That is where our bread and butter is, because we get so many people to share it. So I'll give you an example. 1 second here. So our listing on concession, sorry. So don't know if you can see it, but that one there says 64,000. Okay. Now over here, those numbers are 550 likes, 77 comments, and 241 shares. You want your shares to be up. right? So I built a community through social media locally where, I support a lot of business owners. And in turn, anytime I have a listing, I've kind of created a community that people are already sending it out to people and having the algorithm come out a lot so more people can touch on it. So what that's done is got me a lot of online lead sales, like leads. So social media, it's got me a lot of sign calls. It got me a lot of realtor.ca calls. So it really comes down to the marketing that you're going to do. But a lot of people don't do what I do, because I have a very unique look. And there's a lot of people that copy that lifestyle look and they do it, in my opinion, not the right way. But everyone's different. So what I can try to tell you is that find a way, create marketing. And like, that's part of my listing appointment. We create marketing material that is shareable, because there's a lot of agents that are not great. And I'm not, shitting on people. I'm just saying there's a lot of agents that don't know what they're doing. So my job as your listing agent is to make sure that we showcase your property in the best light. And with my proven strategies on digital ads, on the, online ads and all that stuff, I know what we can create, because we just need to create shareable marketing material. So I'm going to create a really good material of your house that is shareable, so that when buyers look at it, they'll send it to their agents, or maybe their agents are going to send it to their clients, or maybe their friend is going to send it to that friend. My job is to create that for you. And that's why our listings do very well. So, it comes down to what you're okay with. Like, a lot of people are not good with cameras. It took me time to get in front of a camera and not care. I still care sometimes, but so I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. That's good. I'm going to do that. But if someone doesn't have I haven't built up social media like that yet. So while I'm doing that, is there other things that you could do maybe outside of social media to get in more people's
mail outs or stuff like that, and stuff like that. But I personally feel that you should be, if you like it, truthfully, it doesn't even matter how many followers you have. You're still posting a video, so it doesn't matter. Number two is like, go on to the Facebook groups, on real estate groups, and just post those things there, right? So so that's what I would be doing. But I mean, I would also, like, I've had homes where there's nothing really great inside, unfortunately, right? So I've created like 3 reasons why you should move to this area. So you just got to kind of figure out what you're okay with. There's no easy answer. The answer is, you need to create a marketing material that is done so well that is shareable through social media and through other means, that people will be able to see it, resonate, and refer it to other people that might be a good fit.